Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Back to School. Today's topic is about the double fertilization. Double fertilization is a complex process which involves the fusion of one female gametophyte with two male gametes. Fertilization is the fusion of the haploid male and haploid female gametes to produce a diploid zygote. The pollen grain produces the male gametes. Embryo sac produces an egg cell and polar nuclei. Entry of pollen tube is of three types: porogamy, mesogamy, and chalazogamy. Double fertilization is unique to angiosperms. Through this process, resources are used most efficiently since endosperm can only develop in a fertilized ovule. Endosperm is a starchy material that serves as nutrition for the growing embryo. Other post-fertilization events includes embryo develops into a diploid embryo, seed coat forms, ovary develops into fruit around the seed. Fertilization. In porogamy, the pollen tube enters through micropyle. In mesogamy, the pollen tube enters through integuments. In chalazogamy, the pollen tube enters through chalaza. Double fertilization. First, the pollen tube enters into synergid. The pollen tube releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid. Then comes the syngamy. The pollen tube releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid. One male gamete fuse with egg cell and produce zygote. Diploid zygote formation. Then zygote develops into an embryo. Triple fusion. Here three haploid nuclei fuse. Other male gamete moves towards the two polar nuclei located in the central cell and fuses with them to produce a triploid pen. This central cell forms primary endosperm cell PEC and develops into the endosperm. A seed is the mature ovule of a flower consisting of the seed coat, embryo, and endosperm. The seed coat is the outer layer which develops from the wall of the ovule and protects the embryo against injury, parasites, and dehydration. The embryo is a tiny plant that develops from the zygote. The endosperm develops from the endosperm nucleus of the embryo sac. It provides the embryo with nutrients. The fruit is a mature ovary that contains one or more seeds. A seed is a mature ovule consisting of the following parts: seed coat for protection, embryo gives up the immature plant, endosperm for food. An embryo can consist of the following parts: 1 cotyledon in case of the monocot plants, 2 cotyledons in case of the dicot plants, epicotyle that forms leaves, hypocotyle that forms stem and root. Seeds can germinate under favorable conditions, the most important of which are warmth and moisture. The structure of seeds. A seed forms after fertilization when the sperm and eggs are joined. Seed has three parts: young plant known as sporophyte, stored food in the cotyledon where seed leaves of the young plant. Seed coats. Seed coat surrounds and protects young plant. Parts of a seed with function. Endosperm stores reserve food. Seed coat protects the seed. In this picture you can observe the testa and tegmen, plumule which develops into a shoot, radicle which develops into a root, epicotyle forms leaves, hypocotyle forms stem and root. Embryo develops into new plant. Development of root and seed. The fate of floral parts after fertilization. Sepal, petal and stamen all wither and drop off. Ovary becomes the fruit. Ovary wall becomes the fruit wall. Ovule becomes the seed. Integuments becomes the seed coat. That is the testa. Fertilized egg develops into embryo. This picture shows the seedling. Micropyle is the opening in ovule where pollen tube attached and sperm enters. Hilum is the scare where ovule attached to ovary. Radicle is the embryonic root. Development of the seed and fruit. Dicot embryos develop into two cotyledons. Monocot embryos develop a single cotyledon. Seed formation. Endosperm food store for developing embryo. This picture shows the embryo, plumule, radicle and cotyledons along with integuments which becomes the seed coat. Non-endospermic seed formation. If all the endosperm is absorbed by the developing embryo, the seed is a non-endospermic seed. Example, broad bean. The endosperm is an important post-fertilization product in angiosperms. The embryo during its development takes the food from the endosperm and completely utilizes it. Hence, by the time the ovule is changed into seed, the endosperm is exhausted. Such seeds are called non-endospermic seeds. Example, bean, mango, jackfruit, mustard, sunflower and gram pea. Endospermic seed formation. If all the endosperm is not absorbed by developing embryo, the seed is an endospermic seed. Example, maize. However, in some plants, the developing embryo cannot utilize the endosperm completely. Hence, a little amount of endosperm is left in mature seeds and such seeds are called endospermic seeds. Example, castor, onion, coffee, cotton, maize, wheat, coconut, barley and rubber. As the endosperm and embryo develops, the embryo sac grows by absorbing nutrients from the adjoining nucellus. Hence, nucellus gets depleted when seed attains maturity. However, in some seeds, a little amount of nucellus is left out and it is called perisperm. Special outgrowths develop after fertilization from outside the seed. In Myristica, lychee fruits, a circular or annular integument-like outgrowth is developed, which is called eril. The eril of nutmeg is the source of the spice known as maca. In this picture, Myristica fragrans, widely cultivated in Kerala, with the reddish maca or the seed covering of the nut mug. Myristica trobogeril has yellow mace and fruit is egg-shaped rather than round and bigger. The white flesh of Ecce, lychee, and rambutan, all three of which are members of the family Sapindaceae, is the fleshy eril. The red flesh surrounding each pomegranate seed is an edible eril. A sponge-like outgrowth arises from the integumentary cells at the micropylar end in seeds of castor, and it is called caruncle. Fruits. A fruit is a ripened ovary that can include other parts of the flower such as the calyx and the receptacle. Most fruits can be classified as either fleshy or dry. Fleshy fruits are soft and pulpy at maturity. Let's learn more about these types of fleshy fruits: apple, grape, and peach. Apple is a pome type of fleshy fruit. Its outer fleshy layer is derived from the calyx and receptacle of the flower. The soft core formed from the ovary contains several seeds. A pear is another example of a pome. A grape is a berry type of fleshy fruit. The fleshy layer, often juicy, is derived entirely from the ovary and contains numerous seeds. Other examples of berry type fleshy fruits include the following: watermelon, tomato, and banana. A peach is a drupe type of fleshy fruit. It consists of an outer fleshy layer and an inner hard and stony layer. Both layers are formed from the ovary. The inner layer contains one or more seeds. Other examples of drupe type of fleshy fruits include the following: plum, cherry, and olive. Dry fruits are another kind of fruit with which you are probably familiar. Dry fruits are dry and hard or papery at maturity. Let's learn more about these types of dry fruits: bean pod, corn kernel, and acorn. A bean pod. A lima bean plant produces a pod type of dry fruit. The fruit consists of a single chamber or pod containing many seeds. The pod splits when ripe and releases the seeds. Other examples of plants that produce pod type dry fruits include pea plant, milkweed plant, and lily plant. A corn kernel is a grain type of dry fruit. Each kernel of corn is a complete fruit. A corn kernel contains one seed. The seed coat is permanently attached to the ovary wall. Other examples of plants that produce grain type dry fruits include wheat, oat, and barley. An acorn is a nut type of dry fruit. It consists of one seed surrounded by a hard ovary wall. Other examples of nut type dry fruits include the hazelnut, pecan, and chestnut. Monocot seed structure. A kernel of corn is a complete fruit. Let's examine the following parts of a kernel: cotyledon, hypocotyl, epicotyl, and endosperm. Monocot seed structure. Corn is a monocot plant. Each kernel has one cotyledon that contains stored nutrients such as starch and sugar. The cotyledon absorbs food from the endosperm when the kernel germinates. The hypocotyl is the embryonic stem and root of the corn plant. The rolled up leaves of the epicotyl are true leaves that become permanent leaves in the adult plant. The endosperm fills most of the corn grain and contains starch and sugar. The plant uses the endosperm as a source of food for growth. Dicot seed structure. Each lima bean is a separate seed. Let's examine the following parts of the bean seed embryo: cotyledons, hypocotyl, and epicotyl. The bean is a dicot plant. Bean seeds have two cotyledons. The cotyledons completely digest and absorb the endosperm and make up most of the bean structure. The cotyledons store a large amount of protein and starch. This provides food for the growing embryo as well as for humans and other animals that eat the bean. The hypocotyl is the embryonic stem and root of the plant. The epicotyl consists of two tiny leaves that grow quickly when the seed germinates. The leaves of the epicotyl are true leaves that become permanent leaves in the adult plant. Monocot seed germination. The embryo absorbs water and the root pushes through the softened fruit to form a temporary primary root. Growth occurs as cells divide meiotically in the embryo's meristematic tissue. The tightly rolled leaves of the epicotyl push through the soil and secondary branch roots develop. Meristematic tissue continues to produce cells that become root, stem and leaves. Once above ground, the leaves unroll and the stem grows to form the corn stalk. The hypocotyl and cotyledon of the corn grain never appear above ground. Dicot seed germination. Water softens the seed coat and the hypocotyl grows out. Mitotic division of the cells making up the embryo's meristematic tissue provide new cells for growth. The root grows downward and the hypocotyl forms an arc that pushes up through the soil. Above ground, the hypocotyl straightens and lifts up the two cotyledons and becomes the shoot. The tiny leaves of the epicotyl unfold and grow into adult plant leaves. A dicot's hypocotyl and cotyledon appear above ground. A monocot's hypocotyl and cotyledon remain below ground. Several factors influence the germination of seeds, such as water, air, temperature, and light. Water is needed to soften the seed coat, allowing the embryo to grow and aid in the life processes during growth. Too much water can cause rotting. Seeds must have oxygen to convert food into the energy required for rapid cell division and growth. The two most important factors that affect seed germination are moisture and warmth. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel.